Greenhouse update, 8th July. This is that first row I put in. You notice they were pretty spindly and ugly the last time, and they have decided to come on. Kind of figured they would with the nutrients. And they're putting out tomatoes. This one is a black cherry tomato, and I'm keeping it kind of hemmed in. We'll see how that does. Right now it's on 2 vines. I think I'll let it go to 3 or 4 like I'm doing the sun gold there in just a minute. Looking good, really liking this first row. Second row is a multi-tier, and this is going to be the first level. I'm actually going to stack these, and it'll change just a little bit. I like the concept a lot, and I'm going to go vertical with it, and probably 3 or 4 high, and I'll let you know how that goes. And I'll actually show you. Here's my sun gold monstrosity, and it is doing really well. I've got some little sun golds on there, tons and tons of flowers, and I go through and shake it. That's really all you have to do with these. You can do the toothbrush method, those electric toothbrushes, or you can just come by. Greenhouses I see, they just come by and they shake the string. That kind of shakes the whole plant. This is probably, let me look here, yeah, that's what I thought. That's a brandy boy, and it's putting on some tomatoes. It's doing real good. The hybrids seem to do much better than the heirlooms. I'm not sure if it's because the nutrients are a little high for an heirloom, or if it's just too hot for an heirloom versus the hybrids. But there's another brandy boy getting tall. This looks like a big beef. No, that's a pineapple. Yep, that's a pineapple. Heirloom. It's got a little tomato on it. Man, look at the size of these tomato stalks. They're just crazy. I'll make these. Some of the flowers are dropping off, and it's probably because it's 90 plus in here. Definitely way above. I just don't know how much. This is my eggplant tree. My goodness. It is thick. Lots of foliage. Lots of flowers. No eggplants. Again, I'm not quite sure if that's the heat. These things really love heat though. Or if it's because of the nutrients being too high, specifically the nitrogen. We'll see, but that is a freaking tree. The California Wonder Bell is doing great. I got some peppers on here, and it is bushing up like I actually pinched it back. Really impressed with that. This whole row is heirloom. Lots of flowers, lots of trusses. No fruit on that one. Same with this one. All of these are different types. Same with this. This is actually a brandy wine. And man, oh man, the vegetative growth and the size of the flowers are kicking. Look at that truss right there. That's a brandy wine, but no tomatoes. This is a chocolate stripe. It's one of my most favorite tomatoes. Look at the truss on that bad boy. Truss, man, if that would just set a tomato or 3 or 8. Beautiful, beautiful tall plants. Problem is, no tomatoes. This is a Neves Azorian Red, otherwise known as Nar. It's got 1 tomato on it and some more trusses. I gotta pinch out some of these suckers. Lots of beautiful flowers, lots of beautiful foliage, and lots of growth. Here are my trial tomatoes, and the first 4 are Big Beef, and the last 2 are Brandy Boy, and they are producing tomatoes everywhere they should. Lots of flowers, lots of tomato set, and this is my first one changing colors from the Big Beef. Just everywhere you go up, setting them. That's a tribute to the Big Beef. Now if they taste as good, I'm gonna do like Bobby. It'll probably be my primary tomato in the greenhouse. I've got one other possibility that I'm going for. Now this bad boy is a Brandy Boy, and it's good size. And this Brandy Boy is putting on some tomatoes. Look how tall them things. Those things are about, here's my hand at the tallest, so they're 8 foot tall. Plus, and we'll come around here and I'll show you a side by side. This is my tomato trial, and on the right are the hydroponic, and on the left are my self-watering containers, and they are not quite as tall, but they're over 6 foot tall now, and they are setting tomatoes as well. Not as heavily, the foliage isn't quite as green, but it is definitely working. And this is you don't have to touch it, you set it, forget it. Gravity feeds into the trough down below, and no worries. This is the California Wonder Pepper. The same, it was a trial, it was a versus. And, the hydroponic also, I didn't mention that before, but it's got 1 little pepper on it and a flower. So this one's coming on. The Brandy Boy here and here. I don't see, yeah, there's a couple in there. There's a couple, yeah. So the Brandy Boy's got a couple on it. Or is that the Brandy Big Beef? I'm not sure. Alright. Here are the tomatoes. There's 4. Well, they're going to be single vine. This one's already shot. I gotta do some trimming of suckers, but 4 single vines in this 118-gallon tote. And I've got 2 doubles in this 18-gallon tote. Over here are some heirloom varieties. Lots of flowers. I don't see any tomato set on that one. This was set, this particular chocolate stripes tomato was set when it was still outside and kind of spindly. The carrots, something is going on with these carrots. Let me tell you, they have definitely benefited from the self-watering container reservoir on the bottom. And overshower here is an eggplant that is starting to come along. On this final row here, remember the basil? Look how tall that is. My goodness. Beautiful color, a whole lot greener than it was. I didn't think basil would get that green. This is the oregano. It's looking okay. I figured it'd get a little bigger by now, but not yet. Still healthy looking. I planted some squash in these. I believe that's Zephyr, and that's the Italian Zucchino Romanesco. We're going to see how they do in self-watering containers in here, and I'll probably self-pollinate or hand-pollinate. These are my beans growing in my bean tower self-watering container here. They look really good, and I'd say they're 8 inches plus. On this side are the Chinese red noodle. I'm comparing them kind of to the ones outside, and these are my Vortex on this end. And they are already so tall, the Vortex are starting to lean over. I gotta lean them to the fence. So, that is a breakdown of what's going on in the greenhouse. I am extremely happy, and if you watch my other video about the garden plot outside, you can probably imagine why I want to move as much as I can in here. It's less work, there's a whole lot more production, at least satisfaction, and looks very nice. Looks like I know what I'm doing in here. Anyway, I get me one of these Sun Gold. Oh man, that's good. Got a cluster of orange ones over there. Man, good stuff. One last thing I wanted to show was the pak choi and the lettuce growing between. I had something that was gnawing on them for a little while, but they seem to be coming along pretty good. Otherwise, in place, that's newly planted lettuce. Here's a lettuce, and over here is a lettuce, and they look pretty good, but it is really hot. I suspect they're going to be really bitter. Not so sure on the pak choi, just trying to see if I could do it. Got some celery ahead in an ugly pot. We'll see how that works. And we'll look on this other side here. We've got a lettuce, a pak choi, a lettuce, and another lettuce. That other row I planted pretty much same thing, pak choi, lettuce, and I think these three on the end I've got cabbage, just to see what happens. I don't expect a lot of success because these are cold season and it is dead summer. So, but we will see, and that's it. So, till next time.